Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the FearFans podcast. I'm your host, Don Elmy, and with me is Jeremy York, head of the Things Network. And so tonight's, since it's the last Tuesday before Christmas, we decided to cover the one that what should what 30th anniversary of this film has is a childhood favorite of mine, and I figured this would be the best thing to cover before Christmas. So Nightmare Before Christmas.
Classic movie. There's really that's the end of the show, folks. It's just classic.
Yeah, it's classic. It's created a huge following over the years, over the decades. 30 years ago, man, 1993 is when this came out. And everybody thinks of it as a Tim Burton film, even though Tim Burton did not direct this. He wrote and produced it.
That's right.
Yep. Here, let me pull up the comments. Hey, Leon, good to see you. Hey, Thomas, good to see you on here. And hello, Clark. Hey, Billy, nice to see you. Oh, here, totally agree here with Sadno Moe. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. 10 out of 10. Yes, it is definitely a 10 out of 10 kind of film.
Now, if you guys just kind of bear with me here for a minute, I am trying to get this thing live on Instagram.
Okay.
I don't know if it's working right or not.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah, Billy. Like we're gonna have other people joining us on here real soon. They're Nick's running late, getting back from a meeting. Well, one of us, I believe, Jill's gonna be signing on real soon as well. Kate is putting her children to bed, so yeah, everybody's trying to sign in as quick as they can. So,
And for once, I was actually late, sort of.
Yeah, you're fine. And let's see. So yeah, Henry Selick is the one who directed this, and he also directed, as Billy pointed out right here, directed Coraline, Monkey Bone, and also James and the Giant Peach, another film I remember from childhood, which also had used stop motion animation style.
Yeah, that was the ingenious part. I was actually talking to somebody about this earlier. Nightmare on Elm Street was so groundbreaking for its day because there had been other stop motion pictures before, but never in a situation like this where it's not only just stop motion, but there's also some regular animation in there as well.
Well, there's a little bit of that, yes.
Yeah, there is a little bit of that.
Yeah, hey Jill. So, hey, you put on a sweater?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I know that everybody said that ugly sweater was gonna be like the theme on here, but I don't really have any ugly sweaters.
I didn't get that memo.
I do. I had a lot, but I don't know where they're at. And I was looking all over the place for Christmas stuff, my jewelry, everything. So I'm just not prepared for Christmas Day just yet until I find that box.
Right. Wasn't Tim Burton behind James and the Giant Peach as well? I think he produced it, but he didn't direct it. Henry Selick directed that. Let's see. Oh, Joe wants to join. I forgot he's not on the
Chat.
on the FearFans chat. We got to send him a link, but here I'm trying to figure out what it is information. Oh, wait, here.
Yeah, hang on. Let me. I'll send it. I'll send it to you.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna share us out, but I saw that you put that we were trying IG today. So did that work? Did it stream to IG as well?
I'm trying to.
Oh yeah, we for those of you watching from YouTube, Things Network has now got a Instagram page, so we're trying to see if we can get this broadcasted onto there. But while we're waiting on that, let's.
According to this thing, it says we're live, but I'm not seeing it.
Huh? That's odd.
Yeah, it does say live on the corner. Are we not live at the moment?
We're live at the moment on Facebook pages and on a couple of YouTube channels, but
just not on IG.
Yes.
Well, that's
here, Joe.
says up there on the screen that we are live.
Oh, everybody's coming out here. Hey, Joe. Hey, Kate.
Oh,
Hi.
Hi.
hey.
How are
But
you guys?
I'm
Hey.
not seeing it on
yeah.
the news feed that we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. For those of you just joining us, Jeremy is trying to get this live show on the Instagram page. So he's having a tough time with that.
It's kind of
no.
new still for us to share out to that destination. So bear with
Hi,
us.
Billy.
I don't think I got Instagram.
No.
Here's the
Hi, Jerry.
season to be jolly.
Yep,
Ho,
this is
ho,
the season. Yep. So Night Before Christmas. This movie had so much going for it. It's we're really unique because it's a full feature film that's done in stop motion animation. And as from what I've researched years ago, there was about, I want to say, 110,000 frames overall used in this film, and it was 24 frames per minute,
Wow.
or sorry, per second, per
Oh.
second. 24 frames per second. But it's like what I was about to say next is each minute of this film took about a week to create.
Oh, it's wonderful
Wow.
though. All that work.
All that work, and it paid off. It shows.
It took 3 years, is that right?
Oh yeah, it took several years to get just for the production alone. Like actually 18 months, I believe. Not 3 years, 18 months to just have this thing filmed. To take each piece that you want, move each character in a frame. It had to be perfect, otherwise they start the whole minute all over again.
Oh my gosh. There was one thing I didn't know, and that it's not directed by Tim Burton.
Right? Yeah,
I was shocked.
It was Henry Selick. I mean,
whole minute all over again.
Yeah, but
Oh my gosh.
Tim
There was
Burton,
something I didn't know, and that
there a playback
it's not directed by Tim Burton.
is somebody got a playback going?
It was Henry Selick. I mean,
Who is that?
whole minute all over again. Yeah, but
Oh my gosh. There was something I didn't know,
Who is that?
and that it's not directed by Tim Burton.
Is somebody got a playback going?
Yeah,
It
that
was Henry Selick. I mean, who is that?
Okay.
There was something I didn't know.
there we go.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
We
I was-
are live on Instagram now.
Okay.
Yay.
Yay.
All right. Nice. And let's see.
Pain in the ass.
Anyway, what were we saying? Oh yeah, this was actually directed by Henry Selick, who also directed James and the Giant Peach, which is also had some stop motion style animation. And let's see, Coraline, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
His style, isn't it? Definitely his style.
oh yeah,
Yeah, but you could see a little bit of Tim Burton style in there, though, too. I mean, there was a lot of familiar creatures that kind of mimicked some of them in Beetlejuice.
oh yeah, I can see that totally.
Yeah.
Tim Burton always had that style when it came to certain creatures.
And also the dog, because I remember he directed the very early Disney kind of short film about
Frankenweenie.
Frankenweenie. That's the one. Yeah. So there's always like the reoccurring dog.
Yes,
in-
that was an early work for Tim Burton as a director. This was during the time where he worked for Disney primarily as an animator in the early '80s, and 1984 is when he finally got that off the ground as a short film. But Disney ended up firing him because they felt like that was too scary for kids. And like that's the thing. Tim Burton always had a pretty crazy relationship as far as Disney. At first, he was an animator. Then he actually wrote the poem that The Night Before Christmas was based on during his time as the animator. But after he was fired, he went on to doing Pee-wee's Big Adventure and then Batman, doing all this to prove that and Edward Scissorhands, doing all this to prove.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah, to prove himself as a filmmaker. And then Disney was like, okay, wait a minute, we made a mistake firing this guy. This guy's clearly brilliant. So they're just like, okay, Tim Burton, we want to bring you back on to create Nightmare Before Christmas after all. And then let's see. Oh, years later, let's have you do a full feature film of Frankenweenie. That was 2012. And they're like, let's see. Oh, how would you feel about directing a live action Dumbo?
Oh yeah.
But which I should point out, Tim Burton doesn't work with Disney anymore. He expressed that he no longer wants to work with them because it's kind of gotten. He said it's gotten to the point where it didn't really make sense for him to collaborate with them, saying that he realized when he was making Dumbo that it was kind of he related to Dumbo, feeling like he was in this horrible big circus and wanted to escape. He felt like his his Dumbo live action Dumbo was like an autobiography in a way.
Yeah, I can see that. I also think it's how Disney treated Johnny Depp as well, because I know he's a good friend of Johnny Depp's as well. Well, or vice versa. So yeah, the whole controversy and
that's right. Yeah, Edward Scissorhands is the first one where they both collaborated, him and Johnny Depp. And let's see, they did. Oh yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I remember that. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow, which we covered a couple months back.
Dark Shadows.
Oh, here. Paul says, best Christmas and Halloween film. It beats every Christmas sequel that I also got to see Jack Skellington in live. Oh, hey, Tom.
Oh, hey.
Pickle Tom.
Hey, love the Santa hat, man.
Thank you. I had to do it. I mean, this will be the last one before Christmas. So
so Nightmare Before Christmas. Before Christmas.
See that?
Could we have a head jingle, Tom? Yeah.
I don't have any bells on it. Oh, it's on this side.
Oh, here. Sarah says it's hard to believe that Nick is not here for this one. He will be.
He's gonna be here.
He'll be here. He's running late. So
He better be here.
Yeah,
He's probably putting on a costume.
Nick we're talking about, so he's always late, although he's typically not this late usually.
Yeah. Well, he said he was on his way home.
Right. Here,
So.
Disney's too soft, Thomas says. Yeah, he's referring to when Tim Burton got fired on and off again from Disney. So
Yeah.
it's been a roll. Yeah, it's been a roller coaster for him.
It's gotten weird in recent times. So.
Oh yeah, totally. And let's see, forgotten about. Wait, he also directed a Forgotten Hansel and Gretel special for Disney Channel. Oh, I don't think I saw that one.
I haven't seen that one either, actually. I also know that Disney wanted Jack to have eyes. That was a massive argument they had.
Apparently he's a skull.
He's a skeleton. Like Disney like Tim Burton would say, "Oh, it wouldn't be accurate then because he's a skeleton."
Right. I mean, if his flesh is going to be missing, why the heck would his eyeballs still be there? They'd go before the flesh would.
That would be
Now,
scary.
here's the thing. There are a couple scenes in this thing where when you really look at them, you can see what appears to be eyes because the inside of his skulls are actually reflecting the light from Christmas Town.
Right.
Oh, that's deep. You can see his soul. That's deep.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Right.
I
eye
also love
sockets are
Jill's jumper. I love
Did I hear
your
you
sweater.
correctly?
Sorry.
Oh.
So cool.
Did I hear you correctly? Did Disney say that it was too scary to start with?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is done.
I didn't.
Perfect. I'll be right there.
Too scary for kids. I didn't find
One second, guys.
Look, I think Disney has made.
I think the music and the way the songs were written would have made that like fun for some of these kids to kind of sing along and learn those songs.
And Disney has made far scarier movies, especially with their like Don was saying, with their live action Dumbo, with all their live action versions of their movies, even the Little Mermaid and stuff. Like, I mean, they're they have their own scariness to them, you know.
I find all of the recent ones just very, very dark. Like when you think of Disney, you think about fun, colors, all of the music and everything.
Yeah.
Like they've just kind of lost that vibrancy that they used to have. I think that's such a shame.
Well, when you look at a lot of the early stuff, like a lot of the early animated shows like Sleeping Beauty, and they had a lot of really dark themes to it that most people are actually associated as dark. Sleeping Beauty.
It is dark.
Oh, white.
But that's only dark to the adult mind. You got to think when we saw these things as kids, we didn't see any of that.
We totally ignored that part.
We just saw the fairy tale aspect.
Right.
Well, I wouldn't say that we ignored that part. I think it was more that we were oblivious to it.
No. And the old hag in Sleeping Beauty was kind of scary looking when you think about it.
Right.
It kind of looked like Popeye in drag.
Hey, Angela. Yeah, so everybody, this is one of my subscribers here from he's from the Philippines, named Angelo. Great guy. So
Hey, Angelo.
It's nice to see him joining on here on the podcast. And hey, Angelo, want to let you know, man, that this coming month, we're gonna start covering Godzilla movies because it's the gonna be 70th anniversary. So, yeah,
70th.
Yep, anniversary of the first Godzilla movie. So,
There's
yeah,
enough Godzilla movies to keep you busy for the next 5 years.
yeah. Well, I had to announce it because he's a huge fan. So,
And if you're going to be doing all of them, some of them are.
Yeah. And sorry, I had to step away because my dinner's here.
What are you having, Dawn? I'm so
Pizza.
jealous. Pizza. Oh man.
It's not just any pizza. It's Lou Malnati's pizza.
Is it
That's
deep
2
dish?
pieces.
I can see deep dish.
This is the deep
Well-
dish pizza. Yeah, it's the deep dish pizza I grew up on.
That's semi deep dish. The deep dish pizza I had was like this thick.
Yeah. Well,
that he has to use a
hey,
fork.
if you guys ever come to Chicago, I cannot recommend this enough. This is like the best.
You
Absolutely.
guys
best.
come to
Life.
Philly, we got to
It's
do
life.
cheesesteaks.
And of
Hey,
course,
I go to Chicago, I'll have to try that.
yeah, totally. And of course, I have to use knife and fork because this stuff is thick.
That's what she said.
Yeah, we have a-
Look, you left it hanging out there.
we have a
It's like normally I don't have dinner this late, but like I don't normally eat this late, but I haven't had a chance to have dinner, so
Oh, hold on.
Pizza is one of my favorite four food groups. Or
Buon appetito.
That's in the greasy food group.
yeah,
It's a
Isn't
big,
greasy
wide
food the best
But-
though?
Yes.
I grew up where we had pizza for Christmas dinner.
I am jealous.
That's a nice
I
Christmas
mean,
dinner.
we had good old fashioned Italian Christmases.
yeah. Well, hey, Chris. Hey, Chris. In the words of Macaulay Culkin, a lovely cheese pizza just for me.
I just watched that
Home Alone.
2 nights ago. I was up
Oh,
in the
hold that
Poconos.
thought. I've got my Christmas jumper. Merry
Oh,
Christmas.
yay.
Oh, nice.
You
You
filthy
filthy
animal.
animal.
I love it. Love
I
it.
was just watching that like
whole series on cue to watch later on this week. And speaking of Home Alone, Jill just posted this earlier. Somebody had made a fan-made trailer for a Home Alone 3 that would follow the events of Home Alones 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And they did a great job at it. And now it makes me think, what if they actually brought the original cast in, Kevin as an adult, those 2 guys coming out of prison, how would the events go?
they'd end up hanging out drinking beers.
I would love to see that.
Be like, man, that nail on the stairs, man, that really got me.
Oh yeah, true. With the pizza problem. Oh, Billy, this is a Lou Malnati's pizza. It's a local business. It's got great deep dish. That's what it's known for. Good stuff.
Any town that has pizza does not get pizza from Pizza Hut or Little Caesars.
Yeah, you gotta go
You get
to
it from the mom and pop
stores. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's great.
Philly's got some good pizza too, but I mean, I'm sure Chicago beats it out, and New York, but we beat everybody in cheesesteaks.
Yeah. And
I
Angela,
actually like
that's
Pizza Hut.
it's a good movie.
They have the best buffalo chicken pizza.
Oh, did it?
Pizza Hut used to be better when I was a kid, I think. Like when I went there as an adult, my son fell in love with the place, but it just didn't taste the same. I don't know
It
if they
was back
changed
in
the
the day when
sauce.
they had the personal pan pizzas.
Yeah.
That's true. They still do that.
Although I
they?
miss those red cups.
I
that the
wouldn't
sodas came
know.
in.
They change the recipes and something changes, and it's just never the same. I'm a pizza critic.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
You would love this stuff, Joe. Lou
There-
Malnati's. This is
There was a small town just outside of Madison called Oregon, and they had. I mean, it closed down after about 50 years, but it was called Maria's Pizza. The gentleman that owned the place was from Sicily. Got everything imported from there, as far as his spices and stuff goes.
Wow.
And you couldn't beat that pizza. No place in Wisconsin could beat it.
What Sarah was talking about, Pizza Hut used to have a buffet bar.
Yeah.
I loved their buffets. My dad and I used to go once a week, and underneath there until the pandemic happened, and they took it away. They took away both the bars, and now some of them have the buffet bars. I think most of them had the salad bars back, but ours, last time I checked a few months ago, they still have not brought the buffet bar back yet.
Wow.
I see.
They seem to be all but disappearing from my area. Like I don't even know of a Pizza Hut anywhere near. There used to be, but they've all changed.
They're growing kind of slim around here. I won't go there. I go to Rockies.
But you could tell places that were Pizza Huts and somebody else took them over because they still look like a Pizza Hut.
They still look like a Pizza Hut.
If they haven't rebuilt, that is. The ones that have built around here now just look like a big square box.
Well, they're doing that with all the
older cartoons are a bit more adult than they are now. Oh, yeah, Sarah actually does have a point there.
Well, the older cartoons, they always put something in there for the adults that the kids wouldn't catch, but the adults would.
Yeah,
even
like
Bugs Bunny.
Oh yeah, with Disney, it's like it's like they want to talk about Tim Burton making stuff that's not for kids. It's like look at their history.
Yeah, let's talk about the cover on the VHS tape of The Little Mermaid.
Oh my!
That was a disgruntled employee, though.
My older sisters had that VHS tape, had that cover.
Oh, they have it at my mom's house.
I had it. I ended up selling it on eBay for like $150.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Yeah. So Disney seems kind of hypocritical. Disney to like say, oh, like you're making things that are not for kids when they somewhat did the same thing.
Yeah,
there's a big dildo on there, man.
Yep, there was, and it was intentional.
Oh Jesus!
No way.
But,
I wanted to answer. I think it was one of Billy's comments about the Aardman Productions of Chicken Run. Was it Billy that commented that? But yeah, he said about Chicken Run.
He said something about Chicken Run. Here, let's pull this up.
Yeah, I loved that film as a kid. I loved it.
I had a stop motion shorts before.
I've actually never seen
stop motion animated movie. Huh, that's a good question.
Yeah, I think it was before.
Yeah, this movie is before that because Chicken Run came out in the year 2000. Yeah,
I'm thinking about Wallace and Gromit, the Wallace and Gromit series. That was
Wallace and Gromit was before that. Yes.
Yeah, I used to love those growing up because it's British producers, isn't it? So
it is. Yes.
Yeah, I grew up watching.
Hello,
that.
Gromit.
So yeah.
You want some cheese?
And he's like from the north of England, so he has a slightly different accent to me as well. It's really cool.
Need to try pineapple pizza. I will one day. I don't
think it's not Italian.
Sweets have no place on that.
People argue pineapple pizza.
Right.
No.
And so,
pineapple.
Oh yeah. So like Nightmare Before Christmas, like one of the main things that it's known for is the music, and this is like one of the best soundtracks, I believe, from Danny Elfman, like who does all the music for Tim Burton's movies. And this is
The Simpsons, right?
He's done the theme songs for all sorts of TV shows such as The Simpsons and Tales from the Crypt.
He also have stuff to do with Star Wars too.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes.
Like he got criticized heavily for it because he wasn't. Who was the other guy that did the music for Star Wars?
John Williams.
Yeah, it was like they were comparing the two, but it was like apples and oranges,
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, there's a major difference between the two because whenever John Williams does the music, it's always very, it's classical.
Like epic
type. But with Nightmare Before Christmas, just the pure melodies for these songs are just brilliant. They're very catchy.
Yeah, that's what I said. Kids could catch on and sing along with those.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Halloween. What's this?
Yeah.
The one that's
I think that was my favorite. What's this?
Yeah. What's the? It is the way that he did it and threw a little bit of the Halloween stuff into that, but it is still, to me, is still a staple song for Christmas.
Except for the version that I posted in our chat, then that's different.
That's why I singled you out right away. Oh, and real quick, Angelo, our Pizza Huts are the same way. It's not just pizza. There's salads, there's chicken, there's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Sandwiches.
Yeah,
that's cool. Right. I wanted to ask Don, actually, so why in the picture does it say Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas when it's not actually directed by him?
Because he wrote it. He wrote the poem that it's based on. And
right.
He pretty much followed that poem to the letter, like as far as bringing it to life on screen. And and also, I just love how Danny Elfman, we were talking about him, like I just love how he also did the singing voice for Jack, because Chris Sarandon is not able to sing. So yeah, like Danny Elfman, it was all Danny Elfman. And Danny Elfman also did the voices for what was his name? Beryl, and also the clown with the tearaway face.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
He wore many hats.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like the different versions that people like, the different covers people do of the songs, especially the "This Is Halloween."
Yeah, that's true. So, how old were you guys when you watched it? Because I didn't watch it until I was a teenager. It really appeals to teenagers, like massively. Like you always know when they're in that phase around 14, 15 years old, they get like massively into Nightmare Before Christmas and like Tim Burton stuff.
Well, it came out in 93.
I was 13 when I saw it.
4.
I was 18 when I saw it in the movie theater.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was 4.
I'm the old guy,
You were 4, Dawn?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I was too scared to watch it when I was younger.
How old was I in that?
Oh, he was born after the movie was made.
I mean, I saw Jaws when I was 5.
Oh man.
Yeah, I like that Joe's here because I'm not the oldest guy here for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
How old were you guys, Jade and Joe, when you first saw it?
Trying to figure it out.
Oh, that's okay, don't worry.
Got to do the math, it's some heavy math.
Yeah, I was in my 20s, late 20s.
Yeah, but it's great that because it
in
can be enjoyed.
93. Yeah, let's see, that's 85. Yeah, I was about 27, 28 when I saw it.
I just graduated. Or I was about to graduate, actually.
I
graduated in January. So.
I was going to... No, I wasn't going to college then. It was just a couple of years before I was diagnosed with leukemia.
Oh, wow.
Man.
That happened in 95, so...
Yeah, that's rough. Glad you were able to recover from that.
Yeah, I'm a walking miracle.
Wow.
Man.
Wasn't supposed to be here, and I'm past my expiration date. And I just tell everybody I'm a vampire. I'm going to live forever.
Oh. Hey, I'm glad you're going strong, man.
Kind of feel
definitely, Joe. I feel like Joe needs his own show now because we need to go into, we need to know more about you, Joe, and your journey. That would be super interesting.
Wow. He does have his own show.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, we have our own show. We get into that every now and then.
Okay, I'll check it out.
I was gonna say, I could swear he had a show.
Yeah,
he's on Friday nights.
Friday nights. Then sometimes you see me other places. So,
like here.
Supernatural Talk. I've been there too.
Yeah,
on wrestling. I've been there.
Sarah said, I was so proud of Sally using a spoon with a hole in it to fool the bad doctor. You're just lucky that the doctor didn't ask to have that spoon back. He would have noticed that it had the holes in it.
Really quick, speaking of Sally, we were talking about the music for the movie. I would also like to touch on the remakes of some of the songs that they had made for, I think it was the 20th anniversary or the 15th anniversary, something like that. I think it was Fiona Apple who did Sally's song, and she did a phenomenal job on that one. Sally's song is normally only just about a minute, 15 seconds long, something like that. And
Yeah.
Fiona turned it into a 3.5 minute song, and she even changed the tempo of it and did a wonderful job on that.
I remember that. I came across that on YouTube years ago.
Yeah.
And the doctor, that was that guy from Christmas Vacation, wasn't it? That played Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
William Hickey.
Yeah. I had it. I just
Wasn't
couldn't
he
access that
also
file.
in the Burbs?
No, not sure, but William
No.
Hickey, I've seen him in several different horror films. I know that he played the old man in the wheelchair from Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. You know,
with the cat.
With a cat, yes.
Yeah.
He was also
From Hell. That's a Stephen King story, by the way.
Yep, true. And he was also in the opening scene from Puppet Master, Andre Talon. That's what it was. And
I love Puppet Master movies.
Oh, we mentioned Tales from the Crypt earlier. He was in a season 2 episode of Tales from the Crypt. What was it called? The Switch, which was an episode directed by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Come on.
Directed by him.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. It was funny because the crypt, it showed like this opening segment where the crypt keeper is like trying to lift weights, and then he was like commenting on it, like saying, "Oh, this is how tough it was." Then Arnold goes to him and says, "What does the matter with you? You want that 98-pound corpse for the rest of your death? Keep pumping while I tell the story."
Wow.
Come on, all of you have to get to your mocks. Come on, get to the mocks.
He said, "Yeah, tonight's story is about an old man. It is a story that we call the Switch."
I know where I know him from. The Jerky Boys. They did a movie in '95.
Oh,
I was looking up his, and then before that, I saw Bright Lights, Big City. He was in that as well.
Oh.
I recognized the guy's voice as I was watching it, and it was driving me nuts, so I had to look it up.
Yeah, he's got a very distinct voice.
He sure does.
Yeah. I also got this the other day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this until a little while ago, was actually Kevin McAllister's mother.
Check.
Yep.
That's so cute, Dad.
I love it.
I don't remember any point where he actually wore a cape, but whatever. It still looks awesome.
He looks epic.
Super Jack.
And this.
Oh, wow.
He just looks weird as a pop.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
That just doesn't look right.
He has the square face, right? Square head.
Yeah, I decided to keep the box unopened because I don't know, you never know, it could be worth something in the future.
I have one pop figure and it's in the same. I have never opened the box. It's I won it actually off of another network I used to be a part of a long time ago, and it's Wolfman Bart. So I figured, well, maybe someday.
I've not seen that one.
Where is it?
Somewhere up in that shelf. Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I gotta see this.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of characters, like there were, as far as I know, there were about 60 different characters that were made for this for Nightmare Before Christmas, and each one of them had their own distinguishable features. And like I think Jack alone had like so many different like heads to like use for his emotions, his all those. And imagine having to do that in stop motion, having to change that constantly, frame after frame after frame.
Yeah. I remember one scene. I think it was when he was walking through the forest. There,
oh, that's cool.
Hold on. Let me bring it.
Yes.
Wait, that's Bart?
Bart.
Wow.
Yeah, werewolf
that's
Bart.
Cool.
Nice.
Love it.
That is super rare. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Me neither.
No, I just won it by answering a simple trivia question. I don't even remember what it was about, but it was like the most simple thing. Had something to do with Abbott and Costello, like where they meet Dracula and the Wolfman and all that. Was some ridiculously easy question.
Yeah. Oh man, you just gotta admire the time, effort, and patience that went into making this film, because there's been, so it's like they had to do everything to the letter as far as like the animation, like setting up everything, because stop motion, like one one little mistake can ruin like hours and hours of work. So yeah, so it was a delicate process, and they only had like just a little more than a dozen animators, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they had, they had to write the songs without a storyboard or a script that had been developed yet. Yeah, like so Tim Burton and Danny Elfman, that was a challenge for
That's
them.
where the best songs come from, because if you try to cater a song to a movie, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work out very well. A lot of times, the best songs that were made for the movies were made without the writers even seeing the movie. They just go based right off the title.
Oh yeah.
Or an idea. You know, they get given an idea and then they run with it from there.
Yeah.
Because these writers and stuff, they got a rough idea even before they start making a storyboard and trying to get the script down of what they want to do. So they give them a rough idea and they hope that it all clicks. And in this case, it really did.
But think of how they had to do all of that stop animation during the songs. That had to have been brutal.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just messaging Nick. He's taking his time getting on.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable for the content of this show. I'm just saying.
He's missing out on us covering a movie that he's like the biggest fan of that I know.
Yeah, that's so true. I have a question for everyone, actually. Why do you think this film appeals so much to teenagers?
Because it's like whimsical yet dark at the same time. Because there's like I've seen like a lot of this, Nightmare Before Christmas. I've seen it promoted all the time at places like Hot Topic. Places that are for teenagers. Where they buy all that all this alternate clothing, some often goth stuff. Like it's Nightmare Before Christmas to some degree has been part of goth culture. So yeah, they've. So,
I can see that.
Oh yeah, and it's had its way of like getting through with teenage kids, remaining popular with them after all these years.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that they took the essence of Halloween and the essence of Christmas and weaved it together in story.
Yeah.
And I loved when I was 10 years old playing Kingdom Hearts. And
there he is.
Oh, here we go.
About time, Nick.
About time, Nick.
What's up, guys? Sorry, I just got home and I had to turn on everything, all the lights. I had to decorate myself. I was in a constant rush.
You made it.
Wow.
Jack, what's wrong with you?
Are you Jack as Santa or Sandy Claus?
That's something you'll have to figure out.
And this is probably the only movie where you get to see Santa Claus pissed off too.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Oh, wait, except for Santa's sleigh.
Actually, I just watched a movie earlier today where the real Santa Claus is going around killing people.
Santa's sleigh. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Night.
Yeah.
Violent Night.
Oh,
Yeah.
Violent Night. Yes, that too. Yes.
Okay. All right. So
watching
the only
podcast earlier, and they were talking about that movie.
So then the only animated movie where you get to see Santa pissed off.
Is that how you go to work, Nick?
You know what? As a matter of fact, I will be for Christmas Eve.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh boy.
It's amazing. I just love all your lights. I feel like we need a disclaimer though, like warning flashing lights. It's just like so amazing.
Yeah, take a look at that.
My God.
Wow.
Whoa.
Amazing.
King of
Holy
Christmas.
cow, he's got Christmas Town all over him.
Oh my gosh.
It does.
What's this? What's this?
Yeah, exactly.
Color everywhere.
I mean, I got everything. A lot of this is brand new.
I just cannot hear that song.
That's
I
why
got
it was
that other
late.
version.
He was out shopping for everything.
Christmas shopping.
Going back to the characters that you have for this movie, when you look at the when you look at the cast, we were talking about William Hickey, talking about well, he's not in this one. Talking about Johnny Depp being in a lot of Tim Burton movies. There's some other people in this cast that are in earlier Tim Burton shows, like Paul Rubens, Peter Herman.
Mm-hmm.
He is one of the Lock, Stock kids, but he was actually in Batman 2 or Batman Returns.
Yeah, that's right.
And also the guy
Mr.
that
Cobblepot.
voiced the mayor of Halloween Town was that flamboyant designer in Beetlejuice.
Right.
Mm.
Well, you know, there's also someone else who
Alto.
was in another Tim Burton film just a few years earlier, who was supposed to be in Nightmare Before Christmas. And I know a lot of people know this, but believe it or not, this movie was originally supposed to have Vincent Price. He was supposed to actually do the voice of Santa in that film. He was the original choice. Well, obviously, he starred in, Edward Scissorhands just a few years
There
earlier.
was somebody else that had a very distinctive voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Vincent Price himself.
Yeah, he was the original choice, but there were two problems, however, because according to Tim Burton or either him or Henry Selick, he said that Price did read the script for Nightmare Before Christmas, and he really liked the idea of being part of it. He wanted to be involved. The two problems for him was, first of all, he was already in his early 80s and he wasn't really in the best of health, but also when they he died, well, not shortly afterwards. He actually died 10 days after the release of Nightmare Before Christmas, ironically enough, October 25th of 93. But the other problem was that when they started production on Nightmare Before Christmas in 1990, it was just a year after the death of Vincent Price's third wife. Now, obviously, he was married 3 times, but his third wife was truly the love of his life. And she died. She died relatively still young, unfortunately. So he was, mourning. He was depressed. So he would have wanted to be part of Nightmare Before Christmas, but he just couldn't bring himself to do it because of his depression and age. But in my opinion, that would have been the finale for his horror film career. That could have been his retirement film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
What was his last
it'd be
film?
an irony to it because he was always the scary guy in all of his films, and then all of a sudden now he's Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, and if you think about it too, he's had a career of horror films that date back to the late 1940s and early 50s.
Well, he did Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, including in the 80s. He was doing the horror genre for each decade, and he was probably hoping to try to do it, obviously, for the 90s, obviously, for Nightmare Before Christmas before he passed away, but he just couldn't bring himself to do it. So he was replaced by, I don't know who was the voice actor. I don't remember who the voice actor was for Santa, but
His name is Ed Ivory, and there's not even a link for him on Wikipedia.
yeah.
But there is on IMDb.
Oh yeah, he probably has an IMDb page. Yeah,
He
I'm
probably
sure he does.
A small
funny
handful. In the
story though for Joe about Vincent Price being on Michael Jackson's Thriller is that he was given 2 options to pick from as far as payment. He could either take a flat fee for his part in the song, or he could take a certain percentage for the album sales, and he decided to go for the flat fee because he knew that was a guarantee. Not even realize, or nobody realized
What a mistake that was.
I know.
I mean,
And millions.
that was one of Michael Jackson's biggest hits at the time.
But nobody knew before.
I mean, MTV was going strong at that time that came out too.
yeah.
It was, but who would have thought that a Halloween themed song like that would have been huge the way that it was? There have been multiple Halloween themed songs in the past, and they were just nothing more than novelty songs, but Thriller.
They still play that on the radio.
Oh yeah,
They do.
yeah. We have an 80s station here. It plays it at least once a day. That and somebody's watching me.
Yeah, they'll play it on the oldies channel. I feel real old.
I know.
Oldies.
Yeah, well, that's what they call it. There's an oldies channel here, and it's
Monster
playing
Mash.
all those songs from the '80s and the early '90s and '70s too. And it's like, God, I remember when that song first came out.
And you
They're
hear
like
hair bands.
classics.
You hear hair bands on the
Oh,
oldies
yeah.
station. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Vincent didn't opt to get paid in blood from that. To be
Man,
honest.
yeah.
You know, well, maybe he said that jokingly. You know,
Probably did.
you could pay me in blood.
Yeah, as far as I know, for Price, even though he was originally supposed to be involved in this movie, I mean, it was never told if he ever saw the finished film before he passed away 10 days after Nightmare Before Christmas release. So never found out if he ever saw it or not.
I wouldn't have pinned him as Santa though. I would have pinned him as the professor dude.
Yeah, the mad scientist.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would
That
have
could
been
have
good.
been a better role for him, actually.
Yeah.
Now that
Yeah,
you
it would
say
have, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
Totally.
Yeah.
Would have been good for the mayor.
Yeah. Also, one thing I didn't get about Dr. Finkelstein is, he has this. He is like always getting mad at Sally for slipping him the deadly nightshade. But the thing is, think of this. He has this assistant later on in the film, Igor, and he could have easily had Igor prepare the meals for him if he was that that freaked out about Sally poisoning him constantly.
Well, the thing about
I noticed something else about that poison. When she was picking when she was at like a grave site and there was the poison over on this side and the poison over on this and something else on this side and it said nightshade on one side and I think it said something like hemlock on the other side.
I think so.
She put the stuff in the jar not from the nightshade patch but from the hemlock patch. It was I think it might have been a mistake that went unnoticed.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to double check that, but I'm not. I'll have to look back at that.
That's interesting. About cooking his meals, though, maybe it was like a gender role, like usual women cooking the meals, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't like old fashioned.
I think it was more so that was that was his creation, was it not?
Yeah.
Remember? So he created a slave basically.
Yeah.
So it could have been a male or a female, but it needed to be female, the role, because of the whole relationship between her and Jack.
Which brings me to another point. Later on, he creates pretty much a bride for himself at the end of the film. So why couldn't he just do that from the very beginning instead of having Sally cook for him?
Well, she kind of said that, you can just let me go and then
make more creation.
Make another one for yourself.
Exactly, which he ends up doing at the end at the very end anyway.
Not to mention, he also shares part of his brain too.
Well, my guess.
Well, that makes them the perfect couple, then, don't it?
My guess is after that first Halloween, when the whole thing with Sally blew up in his face, he had a whole year to build that bride for himself.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I just love the way they design all these different characters. Like there's all the bunch of different monsters. Like it's like there's werewolves. You got some ghouls and also vampires.
Almost all the Halloween monsters you could think of.
Yeah, everything.
Everything.
I like that great big one that had the action.
And then
yeah.
Not to mention, you also had the sandworm from Beetlejuice in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually a snake this time.
I'm just going to bring that up and forgot. Yeah, he looks the one with the spiders in his hair doing that.
He's just called the one hiding under your stairs.
Yeah, he sounds a little bit like Brad Garrett.
Well, there actually is an uncredited cameo. The hanging tree with the skeletons on it.
Yeah.
The voice actor for that one is an uncredited Thurl Ravenscroft, who, if you guys don't know who he is, he's the guy who recorded the song back in the 60s, You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That was him?
That was him.
Oh,
and he also,
man.
again, if you look back even further to his voice acting history, he also, again, uncredited at the time, and it was just a small cameo. He was even the voice for Monstro from the original Pinocchio from the 40s. That was him too.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
Wait, was he the guy that always had that really, really deep voice that did all of the movie trailers?
I don't know if he did that. I know he did.
You mean that guy that was always like, in a world. Like,
No, that definitely
That's
did not be him.
Seeing like a short documentary of him, and they always said that his nickname was Thunder Throats because of how deep his voice
That
was.
sounds like
that's
a
not
porno
why they
name.
called him that.
That sounds like a porno name.
Man. And I just wish I'd like 2 out of 7 people here are wearing Santa hats. I should have went and got one.
I've got a little one.
Oh! I didn't see the little one. I didn't see that.
I don't have one.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay away from getting tagged as being Santa for like at my brother's or something. You know, the white beard and all.
Yeah.
And Jill has one on his shirt.
Oh well.
so-
Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Okay. I'll count that. Yeah. I should get. Yeah. I should get one. I'm the only one here who doesn't. I should get one and just be like, with this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick.
Yeah, I had a whole bunch of hats when you were over here, Don. You could have took one of.
Ah, there you go,
Hey.
Jeremy.
You took one
Nice.
home with you, Don.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
Oh man.
Is that holly or is that mistletoe?
We'll pretend it's mistletoe, everybody. Wow.
Everybody's got a kiss underneath Jeremy. Oh, that sounded no. Never mind.
Underneath Jill.
Never mind.
That doesn't sound right.
Oh man.
I didn't hear it till like.
Thomas is heading off.
Thomas.
Good night, Thomas.
Oh,
and
bye,
hey,
Thomas. Thank
happy
you.
holidays, man. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
It didn't stop.
My
Catherine,
brother just brought me coffee, Starbucks.
Oh,
that's
nice.
Awesome.
Is it
Never been
gingerbread?
No,
latte?
Toffee.
Ooh, nice.
Catherine O'Hara is Sally, and she is also Kevin McAllister's mother in Home Alone.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
And she goes way
Yeah.
back to the second
Yeah, she keeps losing
SCTV.
Kevin's now on that commercial.
Which, by the way, when I said that I just came back home because I was at another Christmas party, which of course they were showing Home Alone there, so
It's a classic.
it's
Now-
a classic. I've seen it so much.
Now you guys just posted those pictures that you were there, right?
Yeah, we were just at the house.
Was that
That's right.
on Monday when you posted them?
Sunday.
Yes,
Sunday.
we actually went to the Home Alone house on Sunday because I wanted to film a little segment that I was going to use in a review, and so we decided we got nothing to do today, and so I decided here I can pick up Nick, both of us can head on over and
Wait, there's
check
a
out the
Home Alone house
and check out the Home Alone house because he
Yeah,
has
it's
Real
in
Because you
It's
have to
where
Chicago.
they filmed it. It's
Yeah.
where they filmed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Outside.
it is. That's right. It's only
It's
about
not
20 minutes away.
stopping.
It's literally only 20 minutes away from me.
that's
Oh,
right.
I was
really want to
literally
go.
looking at
One
that
day.
picture as I was sitting there watching
Oh,
Home
I'm just
Alone up in
saying.
the Poconos. I'm like scrolling through during the commercials. I went, "Get the hell out of here!"
Yeah, we were there.
Yeah,
I know. I realize
Netcon,
it's getting old.
what Netcon could really say, and Don could certainly agree with me on this, is that it's not just known for that house in particular. There is a huge variety of like mansions there. I mean, this is probably where some of Chicago's wealthiest residents live. I mean, you have to have a really big job to keep one of these houses, and some of them are even bigger than the Home Alone house. I mean, they are massive.
Man.
He's not
So-
lying.
Folks area.
That's
true.
where the governor's mansion is, and we've got an area like that here, and well, not here. I'm not in Madison no more, but Maple Bluff is like that. It's like a little place in Madison. They even got their own police department, and you've got the governor's mansion out there with Secret Service cars constantly parked in the driveway if he's there.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
man.
Home Alone house has a lot of high security there, cameras everywhere, and
Yeah.
they have like this gate. They have like this automatic gate there. So the whole thing is gated off. So, but
Is it West Chicago?
it's north.
It's
And-
North.
Yeah.
North. Okay.
Yeah, because here's the thing: the owner is there, very private people. Nobody even knows who they are. They never
Yeah,
make
their blinds are closed.
they don't make
Yeah.
public appearances. They say that they're okay with people like taking pictures of the Home Alone house as long as they stay on the public sidewalk. You know, I mean, when we went there were groups of people, mostly like family groups. So we're taking pictures in front of the Home Alone house. And
Wow.
yeah, what was crazy at first, I mean, there was still a lot of people there, but there had to have been only maybe about like 20 people at first, and Don wanted to shoot a little video, but it was difficult because again of the family groups that were there. And but then at one point it started kind of clearing up, and I said to Don, I'm like, Don, if you want to get some video, this is our literally our chance right now to get that video shot.
Yeah.
So we got the video, and when we were done, I mean, that's when we got the pictures taken afterwards. When we get back to the car, I look over and I'm telling Don, like, Don, it's a good thing we shot that video when we have a chance, because look what it looks like now. And we look back, and since like I said, there was like probably 20, that now doubled to that. It was even crowded than it was before. So
yeah, everybody
good timing.
I wonder if it's just because of the crowds got something to do with this time of year.
It does.
And it being considered a Christmas movie.
It is. It's definitely the reason why. Like everybody and their grandma had. Yeah,
I'm actually really surprised that they haven't monetized that.
Yeah,
like you could easily make that a business if that was your house.
Yeah,
Easily.
it's sad though how they destroy things that
They
become
did.
iconic in films. They've done that here in Madison, and they had the bar that from Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield, where he was like singing "Twist and Shout" in.
Yeah,
he was singing with Oingo Boingo.
Well, 2 years ago, they actually did briefly open the house up to the public, but only for like a certain amount of people.
Yeah, it was like an Airbnb kind of a thing.
Yeah, like an Airbnb, and it only lasted for like 2 or 3 days, and then those who got to go in, they were only allowed in certain areas of the house. They couldn't, and it should be noted, for anyone else that decides to visit it, contrary to popular belief, they did not shoot the movie entirely in that house. The only areas that they shot the film in the house was the first floor, so it's exactly how it looks in the movie, and also the basement. They could not do upstairs because, obviously when you have a lot of equipment, you got to have the cast members in certain areas. It was too small for all that equipment to be fit in. So as a result of that, the top floor was shot at a soundstage. So if you had the opportunity going upstairs, it would not look anywhere the same as you see in the movie.
Right.
Well, they do that a lot though.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they do.
I mean,
just like a Christmas Story. Like none of that inside of the house was filmed inside the house.
Yeah, just
even though they made the house look exactly now the way it did in the movie.
That's right.
The original inside of the house looked nothing like the movie.
Right.
And there too.
Here, Billy was asking this. Did you check out the Home Alone 3 house, which is in Chicago? We did not yet.
No.
We'll one day we'll have to look into that. I know it's in Evanston. Yeah, I was born in Evanston, so I'm very familiar with that area. Yep.
Nice.
Interesting. Danny Elfman did the soundtrack for Dolores Claiborne.
Oh. Nice. So let's see. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. What do you guys think about like the whole design of they worked with so many different sets just to bring this film to life. They worked with like well over 100 of them.
oh.
I mean, I liked how it was not only dark but like colorful. It was
Yeah, like
weird.
when they went to the forest and you had all those doors there, like to Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, and he gets there and snow and all the bright colors, the lights.
Billy.
Made me think of Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door.
What's interesting, that area, although it's never named in the movie because they made a video game of it, in the video game, that area is actually known as the Hinterlands.
Huh.
Oh.
Thanks,
I'm actually kind of surprised they never did a bunch of little short films exploring the other trees.
Oh,
There
That
was.
was kind of cool.
There actually
Yeah.
was somebody who wrote a story, like just like a fan-made story, and it involved actually like Jack showing Sally the Hinterlands, the holiday doors, and while Jack is still drawn to the Christmas one, in this story, it's actually Sally who's drawn to the Valentine store. So they decided to check out Valentine Town, and we can kind of get almost an imaginary description of what it would look like when they get there. It looks exactly like Christmas Town. There's snow on the ground because obviously, as we all know, like when it comes
February.
to Valentine's Day, it's
February.
still winter. but it's all hearts and pinks, like pink and red stripes, almost like
Pink snow.
all Valentine themed. I got to find that story. So I know it's around somewhere, but it was a really cool story concept.
Not many people know that exactly a week before Valentine's Day is one of the most important holidays. And I mean exactly. Like February 7th is the most important holiday of all.
Your birthday?
This is Tom's World's birthday.
I was just going to say.
Wait a minute. It's been a while since you guys have done this.
I had to get it in.
What would your door look like?
Oh, good question.
It would mine. It would have that right on it.
Just that.
Yep.
TW. Let's go.
Tom's World.
My logo would have, my door would have this.
You choking yourself?
Nope. Hang on. If I can get this damn thing to
go off.
That's what she said.
It would have been cool, but I agree, Jeremy. It would have been
You
cool.
can take it off.
There,
Oh, where's the
It
stripper
would have been
music?
cool to see the other holiday doors. Yeah.
It would have
I'd like to go to the St. Patrick's Day door.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
my emblem. That's my door.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's lovely.
My brother-in-law made this for me and my sister's wedding when I was groomsman. Yeah, he
Wow.
crafted that from solid bronze.
I can actually
That's
see that spinning
amazing.
on the screen with like the Batman music. That to the Dawn Cave.
One other thing too, by the way, about the holiday doors is that although we never get to really see the others, I found out in the video game though you do find out, even though you don't get to see them either, you do find out who the other holiday leaders are. They are revealed to be. It turns out in the game is that we already know Jack is leader of Halloween Town, Santa's leader of Christmas Town, and briefly the Easter Bunny leader of Easter Town. But the other ones are revealed to be Cupid of Valentine's Town,
Obviously.
Of course.
St. Patrick of St. Patrick's Town.
That would be the one I would go in, and I'd just be right there with it. Come on, let's go again.
No, I catch a leprechaun and steal his gold.
There's also
coins.
Yeah,
the other ones are,
exactly.
the other one's a patriot from Independence Town, and finally, they've been kind of switching either a pilgrim or a turkey from Thanksgiving Town.
Just be careful; it's not the pilgrim from Thanksgiving. And here, let me go back to this comment here.
Or musket guns loaded with turkeys.
Here, yeah, I'm actually. I don't think Nick has really played Kingdom Hearts, but
I have not.
But I have. Yeah,
Long time ago.
yeah, they actually feature the Nightmare Before Christmas as a level in both those games. Yeah, so yeah, the first game focuses mainly on Halloween Town, and but in Kingdom Hearts 2, you get to be not only in Halloween Town but also go to the North Pole, Santa's workshop, and you have a boss battle there as well. And I just love Square Enix, so everything they do to bring bring that movie to life inside of the games. Like that
Who's
really
the boss you fight in Christmas Town though? Is
Shock, Lock, and
Santa?
Shock, Lock, and Barrel.
Lock, shock, and barrel.
Lock, Shock, and Barrel.
That's how
I
you.
was gonna say, man, was it Santa? Is he throwing like reindeer at you?
Yeah, but you do fight against Oogie Boogie in the first game in what's basically like basically in his lair. Like they actually adapted that very well from the film into the game.
That's cool. I feel like they missed an opportunity there because they could have done the Krampus for the Christmas boss. How cool would that be?
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
I like that idea. Yes.
I can see a Jack Skeleton versus the Krampus.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's this? Yes, that's the best song.
That's
We
what I
have.
say every time when the first snow arrives.
That's where you have to get something like that celebrity death match. And
You all
Yeah.
keep bringing up "What's this" a lot because you know it makes me laugh because you know what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
What are you thinking
oh
of,
my
Tom?
God.
In the chat, if you go back, I posted a link.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm a bit behind.
Yeah, but yeah,
Oogie Boogie is turned out to be quite the surprise because at the end of the film, I knew he was just big burlap sack, but I never
Filled with
thought
what?
until we got right to it that Oogie Boogie was really just one little bug
Yep.
that gathered all these others to do his bidding.
Right.
You're joking.
Now,
You're joking.
originally, I found this on here's a trivia fact. Originally, that's not what Oogie Boogie was supposed to be. The original idea for Oogie Boogie was that it was actually meant to be really a disguise itself. The reveal, if you want to call it, was actually originally supposed to be Dr. Finkelstein himself disguising himself as Oogie Boogie. Because if you kind of think about it, for the first half of the film, Dr. Finkelstein kind of did have a little bit of that antagonistic role because, he was always trying to track down where Sally was. But he was supposed to be the main villain. And the reason why he was doing this all originally was he was trying to get Sally to make him not only just the creation, but eventually his wife. And the original ending too was that as Jack questions him instead of fighting him, and then as soon after this whole conversation's going on, Dr. Finkelstein calls for Igor, raises him up, and they escape. According to what I heard, Tim Burton hated the idea so much that I think he kicked over a canvas or something like that because he really wanted it changed.
He kicked over a burlap bag.
Well, in the beginning of the film, there was a teaser of who Oogie Boogie was.
Yeah.
Because he looked just like the shadow on the moon.
I am the shadow on the moon at night.
Some are actually speculating if it's exactly the same character.
I mean, that would have been quite a ruse for it to be the mad scientist guy, because he would go from talking like this to you're joking. Like, I mean, two totally different voices.
Yeah,
he would have had to have been a really good impression.
Oh yeah, and the whole thing with him rolling dice, his old gambling personality. I feel like the dice roll makes me think of him.
I like those dice.
Yeah, it feels like he's Harvey Dent. Only instead of flipping a coin to make decisions, he's rolling dice to make his decisions.
Two-Face.
What? Snake Eyes? Yeah. 11.
Yeah.
Also, in that same scene, I really enjoyed how they used the black light effect.
Yeah.
Totally. That was
actually
amazing.
Came through really, really well.
Yeah, they've used up to like 30 different lights for all sorts of different scenes. So, yeah, I just love the production value in this. Like, this was...
Yeah. It's so iconic, isn't it? You just need to see one image from it and you know where it's from instantly.
Yes. Oh, yeah, totally.
If it hasn't yet, I would not be surprised if whatever that company is that decides to preserve the certain films that they use for the cultural... Well, now what?
Oh, yeah.
You got to get that notification too, Jeremy. It was for Instagram.
Yes. Oh, okay. So we only have 1 hour on Instagram.
Oh,
so that's all you're allowed on Instagram, huh?
Seriously?
Apparently.
That's
another
weird.
reason why Instagram sucks, and I stopped using it for Tom's World.
I haven't thought about using it. I don't have an account.
Or StreamYard.
Yeah.
I would use that or TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, here, guys. Paul, yeah, that's true, Billy. Paul Rubens was one of the trick-or-treaters. I'm trying to remember which one.
Locke,
that's right. Yeah. I believe the one who played
I love that story.
Yeah, he's probably lucky that it was made before, the true
before his rubber incident.
Yeah.
His movie theater debut.
There you go.
Here it is. In 2020, this year, the film was selected for preservation by the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant.
Awesome.
Yeah, I remember reading about that
This year.
I remember. Yeah, I remember.
That's amazing.
That's right. I remember reading about that.
Yeah.
So,
Here. Got to have a question for Nick.
You have a question for me. What's up, Billy?
how many pickles have you eaten today?
How many sticks?
Oh, by the way,
Sticks.
Pickle Nick gets a call out in my next video.
He does. I do.
Yes, you do.
What?
I'm currently working on it.
When's the video though? I gotta know.
Oh, it's another road trip adventures.
Well, no. When is this gonna be?
Tomorrow or Thursday.
Okay.
Oh, here, Nick. Here's the question.
About the holiday doors, it's like Santa Claus 2 with me is the other. I guess so. I mean, there was never a meeting, but I guess that's if you want to put it that way.
That's your premise for Nightmare Before Christmas Part 2. All of the leaders of all the other holidays get together, say we need to stop Jack from taking over our holidays.
No,
why not? They're
bring
making
up
Beetlejuice too.
I mean, that would if they did that, that would just make it seem like Jack learned absolutely nothing from the first movie.
Wait, would he do the
did
same?
He brought up a good point, about like the holiday leaders, because when you were just bringing up like Jeremy, when you just brought up about like how Oogie, for example, like he's nothing but just a bug. There's a video game that was made. It was only made for Game Boy, which acts as a prequel to the movie. It was just called Nightmare Before Christmas: The Pumpkin King, and it actually tells the story and origin of the rivalry between Jack and Oogie and why Oogie became so evil. It's revealed in the game that Oogie Boogie used to be the leader of his own holiday, which had been forgotten by the people of the real world, which was called New Bug Day. And when he heard about this town in Jack, he decides that he wants to make Halloween Town the new Bug Town. So he has this giant army of insects, one of which looks like Mothra from the Godzilla movies. And it's the only one, obviously, in the franchise, if you want to call it, where it has no connection, obviously, to Christmas whatsoever.
Well, they should have brought in characters from A Bug's Life.
Laugh at that, a bug holiday.
Yeah, it's you fight these like bug bosses and stuff like that, and then eventually you defeat. Again, it takes place before the movie, and then Scott just mentioned about Oogie's Revenge. Now that is actually served as the sequel to the movie. It takes place about a year after the events of the movie.
So is this before or after Oogie Boogie gets all of those other bugs for the burlap sack?
No, Pumpkin King is like the first in the installment. Then you got the movie itself. So obvious. Well, no.
In that Game Boy thing where it talks about Oogie Boogie coming to Halloween Town, was this before or after he becomes that big burlap sack?
He's already the burlap sack.
Okay, so that's what I would like to know. How did he get all of those bugs together in that sack and become who he is?
It's kind of hard to say, but I assume most likely because you see part of something like that in the film itself. I assume most likely Lock, Shock, and Barrel probably put them together because in the sequel, Oogie's Revenge, when Jack decides to take a break and tries to find other scares for Halloween, at one point, Lock, Shock, and Barrel say, let's bring back Oogie. We could sew him up. So it sounds like to me they more or less kind of put him together.
The hard part would be gathering all the bugs.
Yeah, that's true. Gathering all the bugs, that would be no easy task.
Well, I often wonder how I kind of wondered how were they even able to track the lead brain bug? That's my question.
All right. Oh, here. The army or the police shoot him down in the movie after the horrifying present delivery. I believe that's the army that did that because I don't think the police use tanks.
No, they don't. That had to have been the army.
Yeah.
So something I haven't heard you guys bring up, or if you did, I wasn't paying attention. It might have been when I was looking up that keep the change, you filthy animal thing or whatever. What isn't there or wasn't there a live action version in the works?
They were going to. They actually were either deciding if they were going to make like an animated sequel, if they were going to do a live action remake like they've done with a lot of the other.
I thought
Disney
they
films.
did though.
They didn't. It was that you probably saw that poster, but Jeremy, you said it wasn't because they wanted to have like who was supposedly supposed to be in it.
Need
Johnny
somebody
Depp.
tall and thin.
Supposedly Johnny Depp was supposed to be involved, but I found out that was not. Jeremy, you told me it was not a real like news story, right?
Me?
Yeah, you told me when I shared that live action poster of Nightmare Before Christmas that it was not truly in the works, or you said something like that. I don't remember what it was.
I think it'd be hard for them to do that.
Are you sure that was me, Nick?
I remember because you said something when I shared the supposed live action remake poster. That was back in October.
Yeah,
Just 2 months ago, and I don't remember. Wow.
I don't see how that would work.
I don't either.
Well, you would need somebody really thin and tall.
That's what I kind of thought. Out of all the live action remakes that Disney,
they get a live action remake, and next thing you know, next year they'll have Nightmare on Elm Street on ice, or Nightmare Before Christmas on ice.
That's actually been.
I
my
would
question.
love to
It's
see
like,
Nightmare on Elm Street on ice. That would be fun.
I often thought to myself for the longest time.
Something or other. He's the real tall, skinny guy.
I agree with Billy.
I agree with Billy.
I often
Playing
thought
out
to myself,
Nightmare on
like,
Elm Street on ice in my head.
since Disney's been making a lot of live action remakes, I often thought to myself when they got to, if they ever do get to Nightmare Before Christmas, that would probably be the toughest of them all, because if you think about it, with the exception of Santa, there's no human beings in that film. So like, how do you do that? You would have to find makeup. That's
CGI.
for everything.
Well,
There'd be a lot of CGI.
if you're doing CGI, that's
not live action.
Yeah, so they can't. It's impossible.
Yeah,
you would have to basically make Jack a real skeleton.
Or hire Javier Botet.
Yeah,
I mean, it could be a functional animatronic mask that where just the lips, well, the lack of lips of Jack, I guess you could say, could like it does in a movie, roughly form the words and stuff like that.
I think they're better off just to try to make a sequel, because with today's technology, it might not take them as long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nightmare on
I
Elm Street
have
Christmas.
a question for everybody. Is there a Disney live action remake that you actually like?
I did like the Disney live action remake of Jungle Book. That I
was just going to say that one.
that one.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that one was good. So
That's good.
Here's the thing: as far as Disney goes, most of their stuff was all just regular cartoon animation, which wouldn't be that hard. Certain ones wouldn't be that hard to turn into live action. Now, something like Nightmare Before Christmas, it's like somebody down here said, it would be next to impossible.
Well, some of their early animations were based off of actual films that like they animated over top of, like people moving and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like that was a style of animation back then.
The Jungle Book wasn't originally Disney in the first place.
No,
right, that's true.
Right.
I mean, that was the same people that did Ricky Tikki Tavi. Another animation.
Right.
Which the title of that is lost on everybody here, but this guy and this guy.
Yeah.
I saw Billy had a question here for me. I think it was involving the. Oh yeah, here it is. Does Chris Sarandon return the? Yeah, he does. In fact, out of he's talking about for Oogie's Revenge. In fact, out of all the actors from the movie, only 4 voice actors returned for their respective roles. Chris Sarandon, who does Jack, Ken Page for Oogie Boogie, Paul Rubens for Locke, and also Glenn Shaddix for the mayor. That was actually one of his last roles, I think.
That's on PS2.
It's only on PS2 and Xbox. And what's even more interesting, when Chris Sarandon when he took back, when he started voicing Jack again, obviously, as you guys know, when Jack has 2 different voice actors. Actually, Chris does the speaking voice, Danny Elfman does the singing voice.
Right.
But in Oogie's Revenge, the game, Chris Sarandon does everything, both speaking and singing. If you basically put both of them together singing together, you probably couldn't tell them from apart. They literally sound identical.
Yeah, that's surprising. That's surprising because the reason why Danny Elfman was doing the singing in the movie is because Chris Sarandon wasn't able to sing at the time. So that's actually surprising.
When he did this, he was able to. And that was 11 years after, well, probably maybe 10 years. Yeah, 10 years after the original one came out. And it was, he did pretty good. But in the game, though, they play mostly some of the same songs, but they re-lyric most of them. There's like 3 different versions, for example, of like Oogie Boogie's song. And then like the song we just brought up. What's this? In this version, it's called "Oh No."
Yeah.
I actually get that game if I wanted to, because I have a PS3 and it's got is backward compatible.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you brought that up too, because I might be able to partially save that trouble. There was somebody on YouTube who made what was essentially called a game movie. He basically took all the cutscenes and made it almost into like a film. And I watched it. I'm thinking, this is good, but I could probably make something better than that, because there were some other dialogue sequences that were cut. So I found like a 7-hour playthrough video of the game, downloaded it, put it on Wondershare, and cut it down. And now literally now my version looks like a game movie. It's like this. I mean, if I ever get the chance to show it to you guys, this will probably be as close as to what we will ever see to a sequel to Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's really cool.
I don't know.
Well done.
And here, Leon keeps bringing up saying like, I'd love to see a Nightmare on Elm Street Christmas movie. That's like Nightmare on Elm Street during Christmas time. Yeah, well, it would be interesting to see that. And or here, as far as settings, this would probably be impossible to pull off. What if they did a Nightmare on Elm Street in space?
I think they've taken those films way too far.
That's the joke.
No Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th,
As long as they're
Hellraiser.
singing in it.
Hey, in space, no one can hear you dream.
Well, he makes a good point. We've already got Jason in space.
Yeah,
Leprechaun's been there too.
Yeah.
I'm just now.
remains my favorite Friday movie.
Jason X.
Or Jason X.
Just now realizing you guys have been saying Chris Sarandon this whole time, and I'm thinking, all right, I know the name, and I just looked him up, and oh my God! First off, I didn't realize that stupidly didn't realize that that's where Susan Sarandon got her last name.
Yep.
But I also didn't realize this is the vampire from Fright Night.
It is,
and also the detective from Child's Play,
and from The Princess Bride.
Yep.
and the detective Norris from Child's Play.
I just said that one.
The
Yeah,
first
he
one?
was also in he was also in a late 70s horror film, The Sentinel.
Oh,
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Fright Night is like one of my favorite vampire movies.
I
I
love that
love
one.
vampire
The original.
movies.
The original. Let me
Yeah.
emphasize the original. Because that
with the
dude
really-
that plays Evil Ed in the original is
this one is I totally agree with you, Tom.
Tom, the reason why you couldn't think about it is
That was a
you
better
have to
box
have
cover when it
a
came out on
big
VHS.
You're so cool, Brewster.
He is also in Whispers, which is a Dean Koontz movie.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, here, Billy is saying, Speed, would you want Norris back in the Chucky series? Yeah, I would, because I feel like that's long overdue. Having Detective Norris back in Chucky franchise in some way, whether it's in a movie or in the TV series. Yeah, I would love to have him back.
Well, they actually used archived footage in Curse of Chucky of him.
Oh yeah. Also, in Curse of Chucky, they also when Andy was on the phone with his mom, he was asking how's Mike doing. So it implies that Andy's mom and Mike actually got married later on, after the events of the first movie. After the events of the first movie, it's like, oh yeah, we don't really have much in common except a doll possessed by a serial killer tried to off us. But I'm sure we can make this marriage work.
Why not?
It's fun. It's funny.
Chucky brought us together.
He was a vampire. He also voiced Count Dracula in the 2012 TV series of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, Chris has now been saying, even though the chances are relatively slim, Chris has been saying on many occasions that if a sequel or if anything was ever given off the ground for Nightmare Before Christmas, he said he would do the voice of Jack in a heartbeat. And I always tell myself, although I understand that Tim is very protective of Nightmare Before Christmas from any sequel or even a prequel, reboot, or remake,
anything in that universe.
Yeah, I often usually will say, well, if he starts changing his mind, I still always have to say, Chris Sarandon's now in his 80s. He might not have much time left, so if they want him involved in anything else in Jack Skellington, they better hurry because
no, they'll wait. Just like Hollywood and that stuff, it always happens. They wait until it's too late and the person's gone, and they can't reprise their role or redo the voice.
AI voices have been making big strides.
They could use AI.
AI, they've been making big strides in the AI voices.
They have been, but there's all kinds of illegal issues that does create. So
the family gets involved, and
that's the thing.
That's still an unknown.
It depends. See, now they need to put that in contracts moving forward. Yeah. Is what they need to do.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I could just basically say for example, let's say, for example, if I worked for Tim Burton, I would have to be that person like saying, all right, Tim, if you're making this decision, keeping your foot down for like any sequels or anything, I would just say, look, I don't want to start hearing you complain after, Chris Sarandon or some of these other cast members die that you start regretting like, oh man, I wish I could have done
after what happened to Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what happened after, when Edward Scissorhands came out, you know what they did? Because he didn't put anything on there to stop people from doing that. They turned Edward Scissorhands into a porno.
Oh my God. No.
Edward Penis Hands.
Yes.
I
Oh,
saw
God.
that cover. I saw
How do you
that cover.
even know that, Tom?
Yeah, I wonder that too, Tom.
Yeah, how would you even?
do about it. They can't do anything with parodies.
See, I worked in a video store. I worked in a
I worked in a video
video store for many years during the time that like Edward Scissorhands and Dirty
Yeah.
Dancing and all these movies came out, and it was all VHS then. Unfortunately, I didn't have control over the place. It wasn't like Blockbuster or something.
No.
This was started out as a small mom and pop, and then they had 3 chain, but they had an adult section.
They had the back room with the beads
Yep.
hanging down.
Yep.
So Joe is legit. We get his story. Tom, you worked in a video?
I worked at a video warehouse for
Really?
for about like 6 months when I was like 18.
I'm not sure about
Okay.
that.
And I used to get bored because I worked at night. I was on the night shift. So I would just go around looking at all the adult titles that were based off of like existing movies and TV shows.
There was a lot of them.
Funny.
Yeah, like the Flint Bones.
Oh God, no.
No.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
When back in the day before the internet, and I haven't been able to find it, there was actually a cartoon somebody created, an animated cartoon, and it was called the Fuckstones.
Oh my God, no.
No.
And it was going around on the BBSs, which was bulletin boards. They were out before, back when, and it'd take you an hour and a half to download this little movie because you only had like a 2600 baud or 1900 baud modem.
Modems.
AOL.
Yeah, but,
Welcome.
yeah.
You've
and,
got
when this
bored.
Earthlink.
I remember one time it took me 10 hours just to download a 10-track CD.
And this was just an animated GIF
Napster.
that somebody created.
Oh God.
Wow.
One thing I didn't realize is that Henry Selick also directed Coraline, which
Yeah.
is another stop animated
Yeah.
Halloween theme type movie that was real popular back in the day too.
And also, and Jack had a cameo appearance in it too. Just 3 years later, James and the Giant Peach.
He did. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, one of the comments on the what you guys said about that adult parody of Edward Scissorhands. Like I'm sure there is something like that exists, and I refuse to destroy my childhood right here by Googling.
Yeah, they steal the innocence then.
Yeah, I refuse to destroy. I refuse to destroy my childhood by Googling that.
Yeah, me too. Not looking it up either.
Hell no.
We got 4 minutes left, guys.
Oh, great. Okay. All right. So yeah, like that's true. Like what you said about James and the Giant Peach, that they do have the captain of that sunken ship was full of those pirates. That went after a centipede. The captain of that had the exact same design as Jack Skellington. Even had taken the head off.
They actually are questioning if that's actually really Jack to begin with, because some people are saying it is him. There's other times, because he's more antagonistic than obviously in Nightmare Before Christmas, that it actually may be more or less like a relative of Jack, like a brother or a cousin almost, and it would explain why he's so evil compared to Jack, where he's just scaring people for fun. So it might even be really a relative of Jack Skellington. And that's why he's got all these other skeleton crews instead of the residents of Halloween Town.
Maybe that's what he became after he died.
Oh, Special Agent Carter Sauce. It's been a while since. Welcome.
Jack is also shown, or a silhouette of Jack is shown in The Princess and the Frog. Apparently, he also very briefly appears in Coraline.
As an egg yolk. Yep.
That's right.
I see a little silhouette of a Jack.
It's basically like almost like a hidden Mickey in a way, that what they do.
Kinda, yeah. I can see that.
And the other thing too is, kind of going back to the game when I mentioned about the songs, for example, there is a brand new song that they do put in the game that's not featured in the movie. One other word to note, because we've talked about Dr. Finkelstein a number of times. Dr. Finkelstein, if you guys have noticed, he's the only character out of everyone that does not sing or does not participate in any of the songs.
Because Hickey couldn't sing.
Oh, that's because he's a grumpy goose.
He is, but in the game, though, he finally gets his own song, which is just simply called Dr. Finkelstein's song. And the only reason why he's singing is because during part of the game, Oogie apparently switched his brain with an evil one. So it's a long story.
Wow.
I wonder what would happen if Kingdom Hearts did a James and the Giant Peach, where Sora encounters that Jack. Oh, the pirate Jack. Boss battle. That's what I think. Yep. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts, amazing game. I had so much fun doing a live stream series out of all three of those games.
I watched some of that.
Oh yeah, yes, that's right. You did tune in. Oh,
Yeah.
Speaking of which, before we wrap up, I want to let you guys know tomorrow I will be going back to playing some more Dead Rising 4, and I've been having so much fun with the DLCs off of that. So I'm going to do that tomorrow and the next day because, yeah, I was not feeling that good yesterday because of something I ate. So yeah, but I'm better now. I'm fine. It's just that yesterday,
Obviously, if you're eating pizza.
Well,
yeah, yesterday I was like really out of it, so I couldn't do my live stream yesterday. So tomorrow is when I'm going to do some more Dead Rising 4. Can't wait.
Cool.
Did you eat pineapple on pizza yesterday, Dom?
No.
Not pineapple.
and I will say this too. I mean, some of you guys know this already. I just recently took another COVID test yesterday, and I'm proud to say it's negative. So I'm officially COVID free.
Yay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Nick.
It's good
You're
to be
free,
back.
free of COVID.
Yeah.
So, what I want to say before we wrap this up, yeah, like I said, we've got the live stream tomorrow and the next day, and next I'm not sure. Like next week, I'm thinking the Black Christmas remake from 2006.
Oh God, no!
You actually
Really,
want
Don?
that one?
I mean,
We did the original.
yes, and we've covered a lot of good movies lately. I mean, sooner or later we're gonna have to cover a bad movie.
I was gonna say you know better, Don.
You just crap on that movie all the time.
Well, now we can actually all of us take a group effort in tearing that movie apart.
A group crap.
I still haven't even seen it.
Wow.
Well, I have it on Shudder. I have it.
We'll take a group crap on the movie and
I got it on DVD.
Yeah. Here. Billy's saying, I do agree with Billy on this one. He says the 2006 remake is way better than the 2018 remake. Yeah, the 2006 remake does have some redeeming qualities. It does have a few good. It does have a few good actresses in it in the 2006 version. I mean, obviously, it's never going to be on par with the original. The original is the best one. Yeah, but
it looks like I can watch it for free.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep.
You said Black Christmas, right? 2006?
That's right.
Mhm.
Looks like it's on Pluto for free.
They're
It's
just
on there.
giving it away.
Yes,
They're just
it's on
like, watch
there.
it.
it's that bad.
It's on Shudder. Oh, Billy's asking, Don and guys, would you want Anastasia in Kingdom Hearts? Well, Anastasia is now it's technically owned by Disney, so maybe it'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that was who was his name? Don Bluth, whoever made that movie, Anastasia, because he also did let's see, Land Before Time and All Dogs Go to Heaven. So
Wow, classics.
talented man. Yeah.
When I think of Anastasia, I think about that movie that came out about 25 years ago, that Disney cartoon one.
Oh yeah, and also
yeah, I think I know which one that is.
All
Yep.
Dogs Go to Heaven. Was that the one with Burt Reynolds in
yes,
it? And Dom DeLuise did a voice in there too.
And the child actress who was tragically murdered by her own psycho dad.
March Road Heaven, they had Cheech in there too.
Yeah, man, I was in there, man. I saw myself, man.
That was such a tragic story when I read that, because she was also in Land Before Time.
She was in that, John Bluth loved working with her. And let's see, she was also in Jaws: The Revenge. As much as I hate that movie, it's like tragic, like knowing that girl was like.
I just watched that the other day as part of my Christmas movie marathon.
It's barely even a Christmas movie. It
is set Christmas time. It's a Christmas movie.
It shows Christmas just briefly and then moves on. And then just moves on. Like you almost forget the Christmas even happened like halfway through the movie.
I know, but it's still set during Christmas. Not just the whole show is
very briefly.
So it's Alien too.
So you can say that about the Lethal Weapon movie too, then.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that is true, Billy. Michael Caine has retired from acting.
Michael Caine.
Oh, Michael Caine.
I mean, he's in the guys. I mean, I know he's had a long career, but he's in his 90s now. So,
and I know I've said it before on here. I'm pretty sure I've said it before on here. But if you ever want to know how to pronounce Michael Caine's name the way that he would pronounce it, you just take the word cocaine and put "my" in front of it. My cocaine.
Michael Caine.
Oh my God!
And that's exactly how he pronounced it. My cocaine.
I am never going to be able to look at that the same way again after you said that, Tom.
That's good British accent, right?
Well, he's not wrong.
Yeah, it is true though. It is true.
Yeah. All right, so we gotta wrap this up. I just lost track of time here. So so if you haven't seen Nightmare Before Christmas, what are you doing? Go see it right now. It's Christmas time. Yeah. So all-time classic, one of my favorites. 8-inch, 30 years later, still amazing, still fun to watch.
100%. Have to watch it. Go watch it now.
Oh yes.
I need a scale.
Yes, 2 thumbs up.
Yes. So
white shit everywhere.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, anybody have anything else they want to say?
I got a video coming up in the next day or two, so be on the lookout.
Involving
This is Tom's
me.
World. YouTube.com/
apparently.
Yeah, that's right. Pickle Nick is going to be dropped in this video. I swear I'm not going to tell you where. You got to watch the whole video. It's not going to be long. It's going to be maybe 20-some minutes long, max. I don't know yet because I haven't finished editing it. I will tell you that the video is made up of 177 individual video clips.
Oh my God!
However, most of them are only seconds long, so it just sounds bigger than it is. That's what she said. But it's be on the lookout for it because you will hear the words Pickle Nick in it, and it will either be out tomorrow.
It needs to be Pickle Nickel.
I said that before, actually, a long time ago.
Oh my God!
But Pickle Nick sounds a lot like Pickle Rick, so
because I'm just a different letter away from that.
Yeah, because I'm not up to doing the Rick impression.
As long as you don't go tickle Pickle Nick.
Well, I didn't want to get involved in his personal life.
That's another show.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
On a different network with a different rating.
But
Well, we'll talk about that next. We'll talk about that later.
OnlyFans.
Speaking of Tom,
my God! Only
different Tom McNichols. He's going to be on Supernatural Talk with us on Thursday night.
Yep.
And then on Friday night, I am debating on maybe doing a brief Christmas episode for the 13th of March. I don't know.
Yay!
All right.
Nice.
Onlyfans.com/
So if anybody wants to join me on Friday night to talk about Christmas, you're more than welcome to.
Nice.
Just let me know and I'll set something up.
Cool.
Yay.
All right.
Awesome.
So, this has been a fun show.
Insane Asylum goes live on Friday with Chris Garcia.
Oh yeah.
This Friday.
Cool.
We've had Chris
Nice.
on as a guest previously.
What's that?
We've had Chris on as a guest previously a year ago.
Yeah. I've had him on before too. He's returning again.
Awesome.
Great.
All right. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on the live stream, and we'll be back next week to discuss the not so great remake of Black Christmas. So until then, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Merry
Have a good holiday.
Christmas.